In this installment, I argue why manual gearboxes should stay,
I feel like manual gearboxes save lives as well.
make funny noises,
Way.
and say Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. So while I'm here eating one of the greatest creations on earth, Jungle Oats bar, amazing. It got me thinking about hatchbacks, specifically how hatchbacks are fun cars. Like with most people nowadays, they're like, oh, you need this exorbitant amount of horsepower or this exorbitant amount of speed to have fun. And actually, if you want a fun car, right, and you want to not break the bank, you buy a hatchback. That's why hot hatches were made, because they were cheap to make, cheap to buy, and then easy to maintain, but they still give you so much fun because they were light and they were chuckable. And I'm going to use this VW Polo. If you want to know more about this Polo, there is a video out about it on the channel somewhere. Maybe it's in the description, I don't really know. But how about we take this Polo for a drive and I try and explain to you why hatchbacks are fun cars. So the car in question being used today is there's another VW Polo somewhere back there. But the car in question being used today is a VW Polo Mark V Polo that is already one generation old, but it is the equivalent as that is a Polo Vivo, but this is the Polo. As I said, the differences or main differences between this and the Vivo are out on the channel already. I've got a video that explains that. But this was pretty much the cream of the crop engine that you could get back then without having to buy a hot hatch, right? My thing was that this car with this engine was kind of like a hot hatch back in the day. Like back in the 20 years ago, this thing would have been cutting up back in the day. But obviously now, you know, because they had the Polo GTI, which was very, very quick and used for a lot of rally cars and stuff like that. But I still think that this car had its own aspects of being a mini hot hatch and a mini fun car. Like, ooh, what the hell is that? Nice. But anyways, I still think that this had elements of being fun because the way that it builds up power and then the turbo kicks in and then it's just a surge of boop, now you've got some power. It's small, it's chuckable, and with this steering wheel, it feels really nice. This flat bottom steering wheel really ties everything together. So how about we change this to speed, but since we're up to temperature. Things that make this not hot hatch-ish is obviously power. This has about 100 horsepower, something like that. Torque figures aren't anything amazing either. Gearbox, the throws feel very long. It's a Polo, it always feels long. And also the clutch, you will travel for a while before you hit the bottom of where the clutch is. So in terms of that, I would say that's not very hot hatch oriented, and the steering is also a bit light. But what I do think is hot hatch oriented on this car is the little surge, the parts of it that make you giggle like a child. That is what makes this car feel hot hatchy. Come down. Nothing. We are in turbo. Let's go. What is rattling like that? That's the seat But yeah, what I do find hot hatch oriented about this car is it's small, it's light, fun oriented about this car. It's small, it's light, and it's darty. Like, you pick a direction and then it's like, oh, let's go, you know. It's lighter than that Mini Cooper over there. That Mini Cooper might look the part, but I feel like this probably has, if driven well, it's got the more gusto than the Mini Cooper. One thing is, in South Africa, four-way stops become a very we're not always good at four-way stops. Go, okay. Let's see, buddy over there didn't want to go. That Mini Cooper is... See, the only problem is it takes a while before this car is now like on song and doing something, which is, I guess, because of the turbo, which is why I say it feels like a hot hatchback from like the 90s or something, because from about 1,500 to pretty much 3,000 there is not much. This car is not giving anything. Try to put a towel in between there. Fixed. There's not much to give, but other than that, it's comfortable. You put the seats down, you become a proper Polo driver. You put the seat all the way down, put it back as well. And the other thing that makes this car a fun car to drive is just, number one of the things that made it not so fun, the gearbox. All of this car's flaws that make it not fun make it fun at the same time. It's quite a interesting paradox, because you can just kind of sit there and just do this. This is fun sometimes, you know. Learn how to shift the gears, rev match them. On this one, the pedals aren't really oriented to heel toe that well, but you can learn a whole bunch of different ways of driving, which gears do the most, which gears do what you want them to do. Like right now, fourth gear, foot flat, nothing, and then just slowly rev match it into third. But yeah, the Vivo GT is pretty much this car as well, because this is 1.2 turbo. If you had the 1.4 liter engine of this car and the Vivo, you would notice that it loses a bit of... Actually, let's go this way. You would notice that it loses a bit of feel, like when you're driving. Like, obviously the engine is good enough to get you anywhere you need to go, that 1.4, but you'd end up having to wring the neck out of it to go anywhere quickly. This one was so much quicker. Like, you could actually feel the difference. If you had this and the 1.4 pitted up against each other, it's like day and night difference. But the 1.4 was economical, it's cheap and easy, it's reliable. So there's obviously reasons why people would really want to go for that 1.4. It's just a nice little surge of power, just a whoa, then you come back down. And the best part about the fun is you can do it all at the limit, well, underneath the speed limit. You just whoa, now on, and now we're shifted. And then downhill like this, pop it into neutral, let gravity take you. Where's that G-Wagon going? Because I mean, this versus a G-Wagon, you are not coming out particularly well when you go this versus a G-Wagon. where was I? Oh yeah, the 1.4. The 1.4 though is, you know, it has its place. But then when you got this one, you had a very nippy car, but you didn't have to pay the premium of having a hot hatchback, right? You didn't have to pay the GTI premium to have a bit of a nippy car. Obviously the GTI was way faster than this car, but it only came in a manual gearbox, which I think lost a bit of what the GTI needed. The GTI was supposed to be like a fun car, drive it around, this, and it just ended up turning into a bullet, right? And bullets are fun, right, to some extent, but can't really drive a bullet fun unless you're going around corners really, really fast. Here, you don't have to go around corners that fast to just feel distracted for a while. I feel like manual gearboxes save lives as well, because it makes it more difficult for you to go on your phone at the same time with a manual gearbox. I wonder what's going on there. Back and then yeah, so the Vivo GT was that's another nice thing about a hot hatch. That needs to be clean. It goes over bumps well. Like you don't have to be scared of it. You don't have to be scared of scraping it and scratching it, because the materials in the car aren't that exotic. It's just materials, you know. Use them if you want to. GR Hilux. Oh, that was a big one. Also, this car will do a burnout if you ask it to, even though there's no easy way of turning the traction control off. Like, I know on the Fiestas, especially the Mark 5 Fiestas, the newer shape ones, they had a button in the middle here that you can just click and turn the traction control off if you wanted to do a burnout instantly. On the Polos, you kind of had to dig around in the menu before you could turn the traction control off. But if you catch this car at the right, if you dump the clutch on this car, you will do a nice burnout. But you'd have to dump the clutch at like maybe 4,500. It is quite high and it feels quite harsh when you do it. It doesn't really like it that much, unless you're on smoother tarmac, smoother roads. Those ones normally have. This guy's gonna laugh at me. Sure, Chief. Hola. Merry Christmas. Yeah, come through. It's a lovely drive. I have to check what is in that window. Sounds like there's a stone or something just scratching on the window. See, the fact that this car doesn't have a crap ton of power also makes you have to think about things, which I think as a development for your driving makes you a lot better of a driver. If everything can happen instantly like it can in a lot more powerful cars, you don't have to think about things before they happen. With these sort of cars, right, driving a slow car fast, you have to think about things, because you have to say, how do I make it go fast? It's not just gonna go fast. So top tip, if you wanna get better at driving, drive a slow car. Drive it fast, drive it hard. I say this like I've got any qualifications to tell anybody anything. Compared to those GTIs and those sporty models, the Vivo GT can't hold a candle, but what it can do is be very, very fun. And then they made the turbo sound a bit more active. It just leans so nicely into the corners. It's a slow build-up of power. It just feels so satisfying, especially when you're able to link one gear to another. You build up your power, boom, link the gear. And when you link the gear and you link it correctly, you can feel it. Any parents who are looking to give their kid a first car, a car like this would be good. They're able to rag on it, drive it hard, but not destroy like the car and not destroy the bank. You give them like an old BMW or something like that, they're gonna have to really know how to take care of the car and how to throw money at a problem, you know, which is not exactly what you want when you're having your first ownership experience. And just like that, the drive in the little fun Polo is done. Once again, this was another kind of impromptu video, but I hope it did what I was trying to get across, where the Polo and other small cars like this, slower cars, they can be fun to drive. Fun cars don't just have to be high horsepower, expensive cars that have exotic materials inside of them. They can be very normal cars like this. But yeah, anyways, thank you. My name's Tawanda. This is Apollo. You were watching Fueled, and I hope to see you next time. Goodbye.